What's up, everybody? Welcome to Metal Remains Backstage. This is Manuel from Madrid. We have Carlos in New York, and we have a very special guest, also in the US, Margarita Monet from Edge of Paradise. Hi, Margarita, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing great, and thank you for having me. I'm doing good. It's very hot here in Los Angeles today. It's about 100 degrees, but I'm doing good. We're really excited about the new music. We have shows coming up, so all good.
Beside the great tasting music we all have, we are also sharing the high temperature.
Yeah, maybe you can do some translation for me. How much is that in Celsius?
30, about 30.
Above 30.
Yeah.
That's same thing here.
Mm-hmm. You will die there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know you have been very busy, Margarita, recently with a certain release that we will talk about in a bit. But we're sure that you must make some time to listen to some music. And we would like to know, what have you been listening to lately?
There's always a lot of great music out there. We tend to listen to bands we tour with. Recently, we've been listening to a lot of Lacuna Coil. I mean, I'm a big fan of all different genres, so I always listen to movie soundtracks as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I love, like, one of my favorites is Requiem for a Dream soundtrack. I love Hans Zimmer, and so I always kind of tend to gravitate towards that cinematic sound. But I love Rammstein. Occasionally I put on like an industrial metal Spotify playlist. Yeah, so but it's interesting because when we record music, we're always so engraved into that when I come home I just like silence.
Yeah.
Right.
That's also important.
Same happens when bands are on tour. They are all the time exposed to a lot of loud and noise and things going on, so they appreciate those moments that are quiet.
Yeah.
You formed the band Edge of Paradise in 2011 along with your guitarist Dave Bates. For those who haven't listened to the band yet, how would you describe the band's approach to music?
Well, over the years, of course, we evolved. I feel like now, with the recent albums, we are definitely a hard rock, metal band. Like I tend to be a little bit more cautious with using metal too much, just because there's no screaming. It's not as heavy as you would say. Think of Arch Enemy, for example. Like, we're not that. We have the heavy guitars. We have the driving drums, but the sound is more cinematic. Like, I love to put a lot of these arrangements on the keyboards and just different sounds. There's a little bit maybe even classical influence in the melodies because I grew up playing classical piano, so maybe it sort of seeps through. But as a whole, our approach to music, it's hard to say because with each record, we just sort of go into the studio. I kind of sit at home and, before going to the studio on my keyboard, and whatever the music comes up that sort of inspires the lyrics. And then when we get together, it takes shape more into the rock song. But yeah, we just like to make music that's larger, takes you on like a space ride through the universe. And lyrics, well, I love to make songs that sort of are more thought-provoking about more futuristic themes maybe, but still close to the heart.
Yeah, that's exactly the vibe that I get. I feel like industrial elements as well as this electronic, and I don't know, it gives you the sense in the ambient as if you are in a futuristic world, kind of. that's the vibe that I'm getting from the music.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
definitely.
I would like to add that Hans Zimmer influence shows, and never be ashamed if you don't have screaming vocals in metal. I believe metal is the attitude, which you obviously have. I don't have any question about that.
Oh,
Yeah, don't
cool.
mind about the screams.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We do have attitude. That's really there.
Your fifth album, Hologram, was recently released on July 14, 2023 via Frontiers Records. In your opinion, how similar or different is the most recent offering when compared to previous efforts?
Musically, it's definitely a little bit heavier. It's more aggressive. There is a new energy in the album because it's the first time where the current lineup, we all recorded it together, because before it was mainly Dave and I, and we had other musicians be a part. Dave also used to do a lot of bass, and we had Ricky Bonazzo. He's a great bass player. He recorded, but it was never really like a full band effort. So I feel like we captured that energy with Hologram. And now going on tour with this lineup, I feel like we're stronger than ever, because we really found that unity as a band. It's like us, against the universe.
Right. That's very important to have that sense of family up to a certain point, because you spend a lot of time with the same individuals.
Yeah, this is us against
Wow,
this.
That is great.
it's a very nice artwork,
Good.
by the way.
Yeah, Alex Ruiz. He's a really interesting artist. He did a lot of concept art for Marvel, and he has that larger than life approach to his artwork. So I think it was a really good fit when I sent him the music.
Great. For those who are waiting to experience Age of Paradise live, what can you tell us about future shows and touring plans?
Yeah, well, we are coming to, so I guess starting from the beginning, the first show we have coming up is festival out here on the East Coast in Virginia. It's called Blue Ridge Rock Festival. And it's probably the biggest, I feel like, biggest outdoor rock festival. There's tons of bands like Evanescence. I think, Pantera is playing. It's
Great.
So we're excited to be a part of the lineup. Then we have a tour announcing. It got confirmed a few days ago. It's a really exciting tour. I don't know if I can say anything right now.
Oh, don't worry. You can go ahead. We won't tell anybody.
Yeah, I think there's one more band confirming, but it's with Dragon Force and Amaranth. So we're heading out very soon. So
that's big news.
Yeah, they're announcing it very soon. And then we're playing in Mexico. It's a festival called Five Path Festival. Yeah, and it's
I know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so Camelot, a lot of really cool bands are on it, and I think we're going to do more, book some South American dates around that time. Yeah, and then in 2024, we're going to be doing a lot of Europe. Definitely going to hit Spain.
Yay!
Loved Spain when we were there, 2019. So we're going to be back. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of touring for us. So, and we're going to have more music coming out before the end of the year as well. We're working on it now.
Awesome.
So.
Well, gather your strength now that you are at home resting, because it's going to be wild, especially in Latin America. If you are not too aware of that, crowds are very, very energetic and wild.
Yeah, I heard, and we've seen on video. So that's why we've been excited to get over there. You guys are
just be careful with the food. No, because you don't want to be feeling a bit down the weather because of that.
Well, we have two. Our guitar player David, he's Mexican, and then our drummer Jamie is Colombian. So
great.
I expect us to blend right in.
Okay, great.
Nice, awesome. Those are great news for the fans. And also for us, because maybe we can catch you in one of those shows, either in Madrid or hopefully you're coming here to New York or New Jersey in the area. So I can probably catch you up.
New York in October. So
real soon.
Of course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Now, from your perspective, what will be considered a major achievement for Age of Paradise in the career?
That's a hard question just to pick one because I feel like it's really, I don't want to say it's a battle, but every day, like little achievements are a big deal in the, scheme of things, but I would say just with every album, looking back, because I always think like, oh man, we got to do a whole new album. And for us, our music, it takes a long time each song because there's so many layers. There's so many, we go through it so many times and just the recording process. So with each album, feel like it's a undertaking. So looking back, I'm proud now of what we have, the catalog we've had. Because when you're in it, you don't really think about it. Like I always look to the next thing. So only recently I've started to appreciate what we've done. And with this one, I have a lot of big plans regarding other like for example, we're working on a graphic novel that's a whole other thing because there's a story hologram and that's going to take us into what's next. And there's a really very sci-fi futuristic but really emotional story that's behind it. So I'm excited to put it into a graphic novel. And then with each music video, I want to keep making them more cinematic. So but I feel like touring and just releasing records, it's a big achievement, big deal to us now, especially looking back, just what it takes to make everything happen.
Awesome. Congratulations on that. And talking about videos, we watched and commented in our podcast your video for the single Basilisk, and which, by the way, was so much fun to watch. And we learned that you edited that video. Congratulations for such a great work. And from filming to editing, how fun or stressful was to produce the final outcome?
Well, I think the stressful thing behind it all is just to make all the logistics happen, making sure, to have everything work together on that day because we're always on a time crunch, always like funding is always stressful. But we've worked with, for the last few videos, we worked with Isaac Morin, who is a great camera and director here, camera operator. We worked with Caleb, who is, helped produce the videos. We just had a really great team around us to help make it happen, but ultimately, like Sci-Fi Studios, the guy that's behind it, he built the whole set. So, having great people is crazy helpful because it's something that you can't really do it all yourself. But then editing it, it's it's definitely a difficult thing, but at least I have something really awesome to work with, like the footage we got. So it's a lot of fun, but everything takes work no matter what you do. So I try to learn how to enjoy the process these days.
I wanted to ask Margarita, now that we are talking about Basilisk in our podcast, and maybe you noticed this in the video we threw on Instagram, we like to do like shortened descriptions for the videos, and the one for your video was something like Queen of the Snakes is enjoying some quality time with her friends in a cave, something like that. What can you tell us about the concept of the video? What story does it tell?
Yeah, so it's actually an origin story for our upcoming graphic novel. So, Basilisk, I think people are more familiar with the Medusa character. Basilisk is more, I feel like, European. It's, King of Serpent, but lethal gaze just like Medusa, if you look into the eyes, obviously you die. But
Thankfully, we are on
originally,
a camera. We
yeah.
won't die today, Carlos.
And I have glasses too.
But originally when I was writing the song, I wanted to make a song about anxiety. And I embodied the notion of anxiety into this basilisk character, right? So it feels like, you're going to face anxiety and you might, die from it. But, looking straight into the face of fear, once you overcome it, it really makes you feel alive. Or, at least it does for me, because I have a lot of anxieties about certain things, but I always try to make myself face them. And I feel like, once I overcome something, it really makes me come alive in a way. So that was kind of the idea behind the song. And then the storyline, we have this artifact in the story of the album, and the artifact is what merges human consciousness with super intelligence. So the origin story of the basilisk is that the basilisk is what guides this artifact. And then we have the faceless character who you see in hologram video and in the basilisk video. And he is the chosen one, who is able to retrieve this artifact and, not perish from it. And then the basilisk lets him go because, she sees that he was meant to have this artifact.
Wow. Awesome. So it sounds like there is like a conceptual album and videos and the novel going on at the same time. That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but day by day, it sort of all comes together. And I feel like maybe next year when we have everything, I feel like the graphic novel will be ready, in the beginning of next year. And then we'll have the next few songs that are gonna also bring it all together. So and then, eventually I would love to make a movie that sort of ties everything
I hope
together.
you can do that.
Of course. Awesome. Then, Margarita, to wrap up this chat, can you share with us one of your favorite backstage moments?
See, it's hard to pick one moment just because we've toured quite a lot now, and there's always so many awesome moments. But it's just in general when you backstage and then you kind of turn around, or running off the stage, and then you turn around and you see people smiling and cheering or getting ready to go for their set. It's just a really cool feeling. But I think really awesome moments is turning around and seeing someone from Australia that's there, at a show in Arizona. So I think those moments never get old, just because it makes me think about how music really brings us together. And, knowing people travel from such far parts of the world to be there to enjoy the music, it just makes me super grateful and super excited to be able to, share that moment. So I think that's always.
Yeah, this magic, invisible magic that bond us all together with the love for the music. I think that's amazing. Yeah, I agree.
Also, recently, there've been a lot of kids at the shows, and coming up and parents saying it's their very first concert. That's always really cool. I think we were the very first band because we were opening the tour, and the little girl, she's never been to a concert before, so we were the very first band she's ever experienced. So that's always a really, special moment, just to see kids enjoy concerts as well.
Oh, and she's gonna remember forever.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
Well, thank you very much, Margarita, for your time. We wish you the very best in your future.
Thank you. Thank you guys for always supporting what we do and for supporting the music. So we're all on behalf of all the bands. Thank you.
Okay, thanks you. Thank you very much. That means a lot to us. Thanks to everybody watching this video also. Please make sure to like it and share it with your friends. Buy and stream their album that just came out. There it is. Hologram. And come to their shows whenever they come to your city. But until then, stay metal.
Stay metal.
Yeah.